I'm so excited for another Digging Deeper. Last time was so fun.
It was.
I think it's very great information to be putting out there. Everyone knows that last time we had a community. So, what's the name again?
Gizmo.
Gizmo.
She's our little friend today, our little third party.
So, you guys, we are going live for another Digging a Bit Deeper. We're very excited this week to be diving into a couple of things. Tracy is off on some business today, but she will be back next month with us for Digging a Bit Deeper. I am Mary Thomas with RE/MAX Professionals, coming to you live in the area code 775. And
I'm Jennifer Fiore with Guild Mortgage in Sparks.
You guys, we're so excited for you joining us again this Wednesday for Digging a Bit Deeper. And I really am excited about this week's topic. I'm going to go right to you. What are we talking about today? Tell us a little bit about it, and then I want to dig deeper.
Okay, we're going to talk about renovation loans. So a renovation loan is for purchase or refi. It's utilized mostly on a purchase, but what it does is it allows you to buy a lower priced home that maybe needs a little bit of work, paint, flooring, carpet, redo bathrooms, redo kitchen, and it allows you to buy it at that lower price, but then finance in the cost to do those renovations. So you can really take a home that needs work, make it your own, and finance it into the loan itself.
So if you have good bones, you love the neighborhood, you love the home, but maybe not quite as updated as you would want,
right.
This is something we should be looking into.
Right.
I do want to encourage you guys. Thank you for joining. Please comment below with any questions. Anyone who comments below, up to 3 people, we have a couple goodies to send your way. A beautiful bottle of wine, a gift card for Amazon, and a cute little pocket knife, you guys. So please comment below. Let us know what you think. Any questions we will answer. And we're talking about this loan where if we find a house that we love but need work, how does this happen? How are we able to get money after we close? Is the equity there? What?
Good question. So what they do is they come up with 2 different values.
Okay.
So you have your acquisition price, your purchase price.
Okay.
But then let's say you want to redo the whole kitchen. You actually have to get a bid from a licensed contractor outlining what work is going to be done.
Okay.
That bid then goes to the appraiser, and the appraiser establishes an after improved value as though it was already done. We, as the lender, go off the after improved value, which gives us the room between the purchase price and the loan amount to put in the renovation costs.
So yeah, okay, like this sounded so confusing to me, and I'm thinking, this is a horrible, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
scary.
What a horrible idea to start off with no equity in the home. But I see what you're doing here. Say we have a home, we get it for the purchase price. We have a couple bids, obviously, to what we think we want to do with the house. And with those bids, the appraiser, when they're doing the initial appraisal, or is this
initial?
A separate?
No,
okay.
Initial. Yeah.
Goes in with that bid and says, with what you're talking about here, your home will be worth this. So I think that you would have the equity in the home.
Right.
Has this gone smoothly? What's the process?
So the biggest thing is there's a lot of back and forth on the bid, right? Because the bid has to be super specific as to what work is going to be done.
Right.
It has multiple line items, what have you. So that usually adds about 15 days to a standard 30-day close of escrow. So it's a little bit longer escrow, not a huge deal. You have to have a licensed contractor. You can't do the work yourself, even if you are a licensed contractor. You have to get somebody else.
We can't make our own bids. That seems fair, I guess.
Right. We have to vet the contractor to make sure that they're a good contractor. They're fully licensed, fully insured. They don't have any liens following them around that could end up on the property. And then once all of those numbers are dialed in, it closes like a normal transaction. Once it closes, money is released. Only a certain amount of money is released, not the full amount, given to the contractor to start the work. Once all the work is fully completed, an inspector goes out, verifies it's done, and then the remaining money is released to the contractor to pay the contractor. But what I really like is the money goes to not only the contractor, but the check's in also the borrower's name, because the borrower has to obviously sign off that make sure everything's done to their liking too. So
as well.
yeah.
So the buyer's totally in charge still.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm liking a couple things about this. Now, obviously, they're gonna want you to put stuff in that's not overbuilding for the neighborhood. So
Of
there's a
course.
little bit of legwork to do in this.
Yeah.
And is this the buyer's legwork, or is this the agent or the lender, or all as a team?
It's really all as a team, because you've got to get the contractor. The borrower is going to be usually the one who picks the contractor. And then the contractor with us and the borrower figure out exactly what they want. Then of course the appraiser gets involved, and he's gonna look as well, the appraiser will, if there's any health and safety issues.
Okay.
And if there are, those get added into the bid as well, right? So if,
Okay.
let's say, the roof doesn't have enough lifespan on it and it has to be replaced, that can be part of the renovation loan.
Now, how much does this, is this a higher interest rate that they would be
Slightly.
paying?
It's usually
Okay.
about 1/4% higher, but that's not much considering.
Definitely worth taking it out,
Right.
having a remodel done for you.
Right.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for watching, you guys. Don't forget to type questions. We're talking about the renovation loan. When you're going, what I love about this is there's so many adorable neighborhoods that are older, that kind of maybe don't get the attention they need. Everyone loves the outside. They love the neighborhood. It's
Right.
a great location to be walking and different things like that. But then when you step into the home, you're like, this is a step back in the past.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we can totally be updating that and getting the neighborhood you want instead of something else that maybe doesn't have as mature trees
Right.
or
it's a
as
higher
much-
price point,
very
which
much
is
higher.
a struggle right now. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the big thing. I think a lot of people, these renovation loans have been around for years. And I think, one, most people just don't know about them.
Right.
And two, I think people are afraid of them, kind of like you were at the
I was
beginning. It like,
terrified, and I'm an agent. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
what does this mean?
But if you deal with somebody who's licensed in it, because you have to be licensed in these.
Okay.
Every loan officer can't do it. But they're really fabulous programs, because and we don't do many, because again, most people are like, I'm going to stay away from it. But
Yeah.
the ones that we've done, the people are super happy because they didn't have the money.
Right.
They just bought a house. They only had their down payment. They didn't have the cost for the renovations. So this renovation loan allowed them to do that and keep their purchase power lower.
I see a great enlightening.
Light bulb.
But I'm so glad. This is why we like to dive a little bit, dig a little bit deeper into these subjects, because for one, I'm seeing a huge positive is that, yes, you're getting the money and having it done as you're moving into the home. Shortly after, the remodel will be done, and you have a remodeled home to your liking. The second benefit I see of this is that, honestly, they're keeping by the steps that I'm hearing that you guys are taking, you're making sure your remodel is not overdone. So
Correct.
sometimes when I'm doing a listing presentation, they're saying, should I do this? Should I do this? And I'm saying, yes, up to a certain point, because we don't want to remodel the home where the neighborhood, we're just way remodeling it, over remodeling it.
Right.
So it's keeping us within, it's protecting us from putting too much work into the home where we wouldn't get that money back if we had to sell.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's why you have a couple of these.
Checks and balances.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we have a lot of those.
Now, can this go for a FHA loan? Can this go for a VA loan? Any kind of loan?
So there's two products under FHA. One's considered a lower end, so it's at least $5,000 or up to $35,000. But then there's a
Okay.
second one that will go higher on the FHA. So two products, and then under conventional, there's one product. As long
Okay.
as we stay in the max loan limits for each of those products in whatever county you're in, you can do it.
Okay.
So
So it really pays off to have a lender who does these loans.
yes.
Who would that lender be?
Me.
Deb, thank you for joining. And Bobby Joe, we were talking about something that I'm actually probably going to have to talk to you about after, is coming into these neighborhoods that maybe need a little bit of work. When you're approved for a certain amount, and if you're finding a great home that needs some work, you can absolutely okay, Tracy has a question. Remodel the home with certain steps, and they're keeping us within the guidelines to make sure we don't over remodel for the neighborhood, and it's worth the money to put into that home, because the appraiser is the one really making those decisions, right? Now, Tracy's asking, how much longer does this take than a normal loan. You were saying about 2 weeks,
About 2 weeks.
Jill,
Yep.
about 2 weeks
About 2
more.
weeks. So we will normally on a purchase contract ask for a minimum of 45 days up to 60, but normally it's a 45-day time frame. You do have to put special verbiage in the contract that it's subject to renovation financing, just a simple line, not a big deal. And that really is to just let the other party know this is a renovation loan. So
Do you think we could do that with a home that, say, there's nothing wrong with the home? It could definitely go FHA if all of these updates were made to it. Is that something we can do to, say, one that says conventional or cash? We come in and we're like, you know what, this actually is a great bones, great opportunity, but it needs this and paint and these kind of things. Does the loan kind of qualify for painting and roof? And
yeah, it does.
so we can turn a lot more of these into FHA qualified.
That is actually one of the big reasons for the renovation loan. So a lot of those listings out there will say that cash only because they know it's not going to pass, whether it's conventional, FHA, VA, what have you. And the renovation loan can come in because we're going to set everything up for the work to put it into these health and safety codes that it needs to be for that type of loan.
And in order for that to happen, if we were turning something that couldn't go FHA into FHA, would the work have to be done prior to closing?
Yeah, well done.
So let's do it after.
Yeah. Or roofs. Roofs are a big deal, right? So a lot
Yes.
of these homes have, a seller doesn't have the money to fix a roof. We just ran into this on another one. Doesn't have the money to fix the roof before closing. They have the money after closing.
Yes.
But escrow holdbacks, which is another form that you can do, they're really tough to get approved.
Yeah.
They have to be weather permitting, right? Like it's snowing and that's why the roofer can't get this stuff done.
Oh.
Oh, hello, saying hi.
You slipped a tongue in there.
So these renovation loans can actually help in that situation where the roof needs to be done.
Right.
We can switch it to a renovation loan and the roof can be done after closing once our borrower owns it.
Oh,
it's
I'm
really
just
cool.
getting so excited. You're slipping me a couple.
He likes you a lot.
Everyone give us a thumbs up if you like Gizmo.
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 Yes, He's our little mascot today.
Valerie, really quick, what kind of goodies do they have here? Come on over and show them.
Alrighty.
We're really encouraging you to type more questions in. Really go live with us, you guys.
He wants the wine, I think.
So we have a lovely bottle of wine. We also have a lovely multi-purpose little pocket knife. And we
Put
have
your
a lovely
purse.
Amazon gift card.
Nice.
Gizmo.
She's behind the scenes all the time, but she is a huge help to us in all of
Yes.
our shows that we do to provide information, you guys. Oh, Gizmo Heart, they like you.
Stealing the show, huh, buddy?
So, I'm really finding this very informative. I have been seeing quite a bit out there that unfortunately it's not like every seller has a whole bunch of equity in their home.
Right.
Yes, we do, but they don't really have the money right now. Like you're saying, they might have equity, but they've been living and paying their bills and life costs money. So they don't just because they have a great home to provide to the market doesn't mean they have a whole bunch of money to fork over, and they
Right.
have another place to go as well. So, in this industry, it's always seeming like, somebody has more money than the other. But honestly, on both sides, I've seen that there's not too much,
No.
especially if they got to go somewhere else.
Right.
They have to keep it within the budget. So I can see that this is going to help us on those homes that are great neighborhoods, great bones, but need a little bit of work, or just to make it your own style. I think
Right.
this is amazing. If they would like to ask questions about how to start with this kind of loan, or what they would need to be, is there a certain credit score they need to have?
They do. It's not much higher than the standard conventional or FHA though. I think it's $20, 20 points higher than the standard. So
Okay.
it's not much more. The debt to income ratios are the same as well. You can't combine that loan with any of the grants. That's not allowed.
Okay.
So you do have to have your own down payment.
Okay.
But you could get a gift for a down payment, and that's acceptable as well. So we're seeing a lot of that too, and that's fine.
So if you get a gift for a down payment, have your closing costs one way or another, and then this is going to help you come into a home that is fresh, remodeled. Obviously, we only have a certain amount we can play with, so you might not get everything, but you might get a really amazing neighborhood and home
Right.
for that.
And then there's times too where if, let's say somebody was redoing the kitchen and it's not habitable while that's being done, there are situations where they'll let you build in a few months, up to 6 months maximum of the payment while the work's being done, because you're going to be residing somewhere else, having rent or what have you, hotels, stay, what have you, right? So, but it has to be considered uninhabitable for that to happen. But it's
Okay.
a possibility.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if your whole kitchen's torn apart for a month or two,
Right. You don't have a stove or bathrooms or
might not be able to do anything.
Right.
What's great about that is you're lining the work up, you're putting it in order so that when you close, you don't have to do it all before close, because we have enough to do during that
Yeah.
time, as everybody knows. So, but you can do it right after and before you move in. So coming up on the holidays may be a great time to start calling Jennifer, go out shopping, have the work done over the holidays, and you move in right after the
Right.
new year.
2021.
How would we get a hold of you?
Best number to reach me is 775-338-5059. Myself.
Would you say there's any more pointers regarding this loan? Because this is something that, yes, we all kind of shy away from.
Mhm.
And even I know we've dabbled in that conversation
Yeah.
a time or two, but digging a little bit deeper, we
Yeah.
found a little bit more things that made me a lot less nervous to
Yeah.
try this out.
Yeah.
So
The biggest thing for a borrower is if you call and you have questions on it, I'm going to basically run you through the whole transaction in a way, so you can see what the differences are from one without the renovation to
Okay.
with the renovation. So
And Jennifer is always helpful, very open to have conversations, but she has a whole team, because there's only one of you, right?
Right.
That is just as knowledgeable. They support her. So if she's busy, one of them is going to offer, can I go over this with you? Who's the main person?
Sheila Cervantes is the main lead in my team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
there's,
she's not, they are not renovation loan licensed like I am. They are licensed, so
Sure.
they can answer basic mortgage questions, rates, what have you. But when it comes to the renovation side of it, that's where I would have to have
okay.
that conversation. But if you reach them, they can set up that appointment on the phone or a Zoom call or in person, and we can go over it. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I think it's really important to point out that setting up the appointment to have that isn't so that you can gather all their information. It's so you can focus on their questions
Education.
one-on-one,
Educate.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Educate.
Um,
And sometimes you may just want to have all these questions answered and not go through the rest of that process.
Right.
And that's fine.
Mhm.
Totally fine.
I always am like, oh, you want to call me back at a certain time, reserve my spot so you can really dive in and sell me. No, I
No.
promise you that's not what this is about. It's really just to be focused, because we have a lot going on in our day, and we want to make sure that actually we answer your questions. So I know that you've done that
Mhm.
and you set up the steps to do that. And I just want to say that that is a huge, almost like a sacrifice that you do to make sure that, you push other things aside so you can focus.
Yeah.
And that's because you care.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
everyone, just putting that out there. So give her a call if you're interested in this loan. It's the renovation loan.
Yeah.
Or
Or if you have buyers that are looking, that might open up some doors for them too, right?
well, this is my head's going.
I know, I can see it. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
Because we're like, okay, we're here, and then dang it, no FHA. And then you go walk through and you're like, it's really not that bad.
Right.
I mean, I can get this to pass. I could. And I've done that a time or two with the help of the team surrounding us. We have painters, we have carpet, we have all these people that do this kind of work. So with that loan in place, I think we can get a lot more homes. It's a
Yep.
hard market anyway. So let's get you into a couple more homes, you guys.
Yep.
If there's anything that either one of us can do, just reach out. Join us again. Tracy will be back. She's doing business today, but we're super excited. She will be back with us next month, the third Wednesday, to do digging a bit deeper, you guys. Come with your questions and comment one more time below, because the first 3 get the gift card of Amazon, cute little pocket knife, and the bottle of wine. One more
Awesome.
time for this loan, how to get a hold of you.
Myself, 775-338-5059.
And you can always get a hold of me, 775-682-1973. I will have any conversation you're wanting to have, and love doing what I do. So reach out anytime, you guys. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good to go.
Cool.
Okay. Good boy.
Crazy. Yeah, my holding him was so that if somebody walked by